Hi there and welcome to another edition of One Side SA, the soccer show that keeps you up to date every week. Budge is back from overseas. He went over and took our first winner, Ernie or Skip Wallace, to go at the game. They went to go and watch Spurs and Watford on a freezing night. Budge, great trip.
Yeah, very good, Paul.
And you got out there with Wimpy. And,
man, Wimpy LaRue,
yeah,
good
and
man.
then you met up with our pundit, Stevie B.
Yeah, I had lunch with Steve in Notting Hill. Good man, intelligent. We watched the Liverpool-Stoke game.
Yeah.
Era game, we should just carried on eating. Nothing much really happened in that, but...
Yeah, but a wonderful trip. And you got the cold weather, the hot weather?
Yeah, Paul, it was freezing at Spurs.
Freezing,
Jeez, it was freezing. And then the Liverpool-Chelsea game was 40 degrees.
Yeah.
So...
so you got
contrast.
the best of everything. But good to get out there again.
Yeah.
But you saw your family, you saw your mates, you had a good time. And the thing is, while you've been over there, a lot of teams have struggled. And you've watched them, obviously, but the likes of Spurs struggling, the Manchester United don't look good, Arsenal are very erratic, Liverpool don't look good, Man City have been held. It's I don't know what it is. Is it the long season?
I just think it's World Cup time now, Paul. The guys have done their job. Obviously for the top four in the relegation positions, but just looking at it, Paul, I was just so disappointed in the midfield play.
Yeah.
You know, I watched Liverpool against Chelsea. Chelsea had nothing in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Bakayoko, Kante runs a run, closes down, and Fabregas cheats. Liverpool, James Milner is the man behind that team.
Yeah, years ago.
Good player, you know. It's only when you sit high and you watch him play, Paul, and some of the angles, the passes that they play. That's why Liverpool Champions League in the final.
Yeah.
I know everybody raves about their front three, and quite rightly so. But in the middle of the park, that Wijnaldum, they work hard, Paul, and they can play.
Yeah. No, it's definitely the case. And Man City have dominated because of a great midfield.
That's it, you know.
You've got to have your engine room
But no
right.
creativity, you got no chance.
Yeah. Well, the league's now sorted out.
Yeah.
There's one game that can still swing it with regard to Champions League, but the bottom of the league budget's gone.
Yeah, well, it's not really. Southampton have to lose to Man City, and Swansea have to beat Stoke, and there has to be a 9-goal turnover.
So
That'll never happen.
Never happen. Let's talk about the midweek games that took place. And Budge, you were back for these Swansea, Southampton.
You know, I was in the
What do
Durban
you
North.
think of the game?
Yeah, I was in the Durban North Tote with your man Pepperoni, Kevin Petzer, who's a big Southampton fan. I said to him, the way they've played the last couple of games, I think they'll win. And obviously he's been let down. They lost to Chelsea and so on. And they deserve to win, Paul. The goalkeeper of Swansea played well. They've deservedly got out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be in the bottom four, but they've got some players there, Paul.
Yeah, they've got some
He's
players.
done a good job, Mark Hughes.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys who flit in and out of games.
Yeah.
The guy who got the goal.
Yeah, Gabbiadini, you know,
he flits in and out
I
of
like
the games.
Tadic, but...
Tadic's a class act.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be where they are. But Mark Hughes has got a bit of reality check going, so deservedly stayed up.
Stayed up. Swansea had chances to stay up.
Well, they did, but they can't score goals. They've scored 2 goals in the last 8 games. You look at the AU boys up front, they sold their best 2 players. And, you know, they lost Loriente, and the guy went to Everton, the Norwegian, Sigurdsson. So that was him gone, and they've never recovered.
They've never recovered. So then Wednesday night, last night, Chelsea, Huddersfield.
I watched the second half, Paul, because I watched the Spurs game, the first half, and as I turned over, Huddersfield just scored.
Yes,
you couldn't believe the goalkeeper chickened out. And
he bailed.
And it was Alamo, Paul. Chelsea never scored, but full credit to Huddersfield. Yeah, everything was on the line.
Against Man City, they were the
Man
same.
City 2-0. Yeah, that's the crunch, Paul. At the end of the day, you've got to roll your sleeves up and have a go in key situations. Stoke haven't done it. Swansea haven't done it. And sadly, West Brom, I think if they'd put that manager in charge a month ago, they'd have got out of it.
Yeah, Darren Moore done a good job.
Yeah, manager of the month.
And then relegated.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we finish, we've got international pundit Stevie B. Steve, are you there? Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Morning, Steve. How you going?
Very well, thanks.
Good.
Good. We got you back. We're just talking about last night's games and how some of these teams, Stevie, are tired and don't look that good. But we're just...
I think that's right.
Yeah, we're talking firstly on the Swansea, Southampton, and Swansea are gone.
I think so. I can't see any hope for them unless they win by a hatful and Southampton lose by a hatful. I think it's unlikely. So I think, you know, mathematically they could still stay up, but you know they need like a 10-goal swing, and I can't see that happening at all.
No, well,
I mean they haven't scored in 4 games. I think it was in their own hands, and they got sucked into it, and in the end they just weren't good enough.
Yeah, who would have said Huddersfield, who won both the playoff decided on penalties, stayed in the Premiership this league?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I watched last night's game, and it was a bit like the Alamo at times. But Chelsea, they threw all their bodies were on the line, and apart from the sort of bit of a lucky own goal and one good save, Chelsea didn't create that many clear-cut chances.
Correct, yeah. I watched the second half and I agree with that.
I've got two TVs, YouTube battlers.
Okay.
I watched both games. I had obviously Spurs on the one, and I had the other one, which started earlier, the Chelsea Huddersfield.
15 minutes. Yeah.
It just shows, Steve, a lot of these teams at the bottom can park the bus, and it becomes tough for all these top sides.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess if they go there, as Huddersfield did, I mean, they really only had a couple of attacks, but, they went there, literally put sort of 10 men behind the ball and said to Chelsea, look, try and break us down, and they found it very difficult. And I think they did what they had to do. I mean, obviously it wasn't pretty, both at Man City and at Chelsea, but I don't think anybody gave them much hope of getting a result at either place. So I think, credit to them. I thought that they could get sucked into it. Swansea, in the end, I think, have let themselves down. I thought if they'd have won another game, Swansea, I thought that would have been it for Huddersfield. But, deservedly, they battled and did better than, say, Stoke or Swansea did.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, Steve, on to the big weekend for you. How do you see the playoffs going in the Championship?
Look, at the end of the day, it couldn't have been any more disappointing. I think to lose the unbeaten record, I don't think people saw that coming. But also, ultimately, knowing that with Cardiff drawing a win would have taken us up. So I think everyone's a little bit flat. But they've got to raise their game because they go again tomorrow night at Derby. Yeah. So they can't sit around feeling sorry for themselves.
Will we get those games,
and that's going to be a tough game. Derby have just found a little bit of form at the right time because they're having dropped out of the playoff position. So
never easy those playoffs, though, Steve. Never easy.
Sorry?
Never easy those playoffs.
No, not at all. And sometimes the team that finishes third, as we have done, sort of feel a bit hard done by that they've just missed out. But ultimately, we know that having sort of gone 23 games unbeaten before last Sunday, they've got the quality in the side. We are carrying a couple of injuries, so not quite sure if our captain Tom Kearney will be fit.
Okay.
He was carrying an injury on Sunday, which I guess was a bit of a gamble that didn't pay off. But they've got to go for it.
Yeah, Mitrovic fit though?
Yeah, I think apart from Kearney, possibly Matt Targett.
Okay.
Everybody else should be fit. So.
What about the other one, Steve? Middlesbrough versus Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really close. That's really too close to call. I don't think there'll be many goals in either. I mean, last season's playoffs. There were no goals in the Sheffield Wednesday Huddersfield game, either games, and there were only 3 goals in the Reading Fulham games. I think there might be a few more goals in the playoff games, but I just fancy Middlesbrough. I've just got a feeling that they've just a little bit of form, and I just think that if they need to, I think they can just raise their game a bit. I might be right. I'm hoping that obviously my heart is saying it wants Fulham to get through. Yeah. Having said that, we have a very poor record in the playoffs. We've only been in the playoffs 3 times. We've never won a playoff game.
Gee, that's got to change.
Who did we've got to break?
Yeah, well, my boys Preston got to 9 playoff finals before we got through, and then we finally squeaked in one.
Absolutely, they've missed out every time. And in fact, in the end, they came as close as they could this time round. I mean, it was, as you know, it was their home form let them down recently. Yeah. Otherwise, they could and should have been in 6th place themselves.
Yeah, I was speaking to the guys when I was in Preston 2 weeks ago, and I asked the guy, why did they sell Jordan Hugill to West Ham? And everyone was flabbergasted. I know they took the money, but he wasn't going to play at West Ham, so that's the end of his career. He'll more than likely.
I mean, it's just pointless. I mean, it's all very well saying that, but had they have kept him and he scored just a few goals,
we could have been playing for him.
Then what's that worth if you win the playoff final? So it obviously was a short-sighted decision, short-term decision as well, which has cost the club. And I think, unfortunately, what happens now is the summer is those players that perform very well, bigger teams look at them and think that they're, and if he's the sort of owner that's looking to recoup some money, then, he may well be looking to sell 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, sadly. But at the end of the day, I know speaking to the guys, they were quite happy to stay in the league, but to get as close as we did, But if you don't score goals, look at Swansea and look at Stoke. They can't score. That's why they're going down. Vice versa. Same thing with Preston, sadly. Yeah. Steve, did you watch El Clasico?
I did watch some of it. Yes. In a way, again, they're always feisty affairs. Always big. I guess because the league is already done. Madrid are in the Champions League final. There wasn't quite as much riding on it, but as you say, once you get players sent off and goals, they're always exciting games. So it's a shame it was sort of so late in the season, as it were.
Yeah. So Steve, everything hinges on our phone call next week. I didn't think we'd phone you this week and you'd lose your winning run, but by this time next week, you'll know who you're playing in the final.
Absolutely, we'll know either the season's over for us, or we've got a final to look forward to. The shame is the playoff final is the same day as the Champions League final.
Okay.
Yeah. Just talking about the Champions League final, I know Tubbs Riddell and Mark Aboud, the Egyptian cross-dresser, they're going over to the game in Kiev.
Yeah, no, Michael said he was, and in fact, be a fantastic day or two. I think they've got a great chance. Having watched the Bayern Munich Real Madrid games, and I thought Bayern Munich were very unlucky. So I think it's a lesson there for Liverpool that what you don't do against Madrid is just sit back. I think you have to attack them and take your chances.
The only thing
Spurs beat them in the playoff rounds. They beat Real Madrid. You've got to go with them.
The thing is, Steve, come the crunch, Liverpool beat Porto, they beat Man City, and they beat Roma.
Yeah.
Real Madrid beat PSG, Juventus, and obviously Bayern Munich. So they deserve to be in the final. But just looking at Liverpool,
absolutely.
they'll be all right.
Madrid, as we know, even though their league form dipped a bit, when it comes to winning European games, they know how to do it. I think we've said that all along. So I think it should be a cracking final.
Agreed.
All right, Stevie, as not much more we can talk about. We got our fingers crossed you. We will be watching your team and hoping you get into the Premier League. And
they're coming round. I think you got sort of Friday and Monday, so there's
Monday's quick.
Not a lot of time. So whatever the result on Friday, the team just have to get on with it, and they'll be back at the cottage on Monday evening. So let's hope on Thursday we're talking about a playoff final.
Lovely, Steve. Thanks very much once again.
All right, Steve. All the best.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Steve. Right, that's Stevie B, our pundit, and a tough time for them. They have a winning run and they go and get beat.
Well, you know what? I think if Cardiff had won, they were automatic.
Yeah, but
so,
they didn't.
But Birmingham, Gary Monk, I think there'll be a danger team next year at Birmingham. Gary Monk's a good manager. He was at Swansea.
Yeah, knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff. And but the Championship, hardest league in the world, Paul.
Yeah, just one last game is a game tonight.
Yeah, West Ham.
Nothing to play for. West Ham are safe, and Man United are going to be
Well, David Moyes trying to prove a point, no doubt. But the way United played against Brighton was just disgraceful.
It is. I've said it all year. They managed to eke out some wins. And things. They haven't been a good side. They haven't been the Sir Alex team. What's the latest on him?
Apparently he's out. Well, he's in. He's out of intensive care. He's into a normal ward. Yeah. So when Mourinho came out and spoke yesterday, you knew the club. But the world's watching, Paul, so we'll know.
Great man. We'll all know. Okay, well, that's the Premiership, the Championship we've spoken about, Budge. Let's go and look at PSL because this is interesting now. Platinum Stars are gone.
Gone for good.
The winners are Sundowns.
Yep, Sundowns, 7
Percy
points
Tau
clear.
and the coach won an award.
Yeah, deservedly. Best player in the league, Percy Tau, Paul. Good player. Him
very
and
good player.
Top two players,
Yeah, and then Ajax Cape Town now. They will have to go into playoffs.
They play Kaizer Chiefs. If they don't win, they're in the playoffs.
So if they draw, they're gone. They have to win. So
got to win.
They win. But if they do win, they move up 3 or 4 places.
Well, then the scrummage, a few teams above them. Supersport, Polokwane, there's a few boys above them. We'll be worried. Baraka and so on. Yeah.
Okay, how about the top 8? Because that's always a big tournament. Now in 7th, on 37 points, Golden Arrows. On 8th, Chipper United, 36 points. So that's your top 8. But just behind them, because there's one game to go on, 36 points, 36 points, 35 points, 34 points are Bloem, Bidvest, Amazulu and Baraka. They can all get in there.
Yeah, they can all squeak in,
So when are these games played?
Saturday, 3 o'clock. They're all on Saturday.
All same time?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Right, let's go to the fixtures now, Boats. Now's when it all gets interesting. There are games that, as I heard a commentator say the other day, you might look at games and say, well, this is like tonight's game, isn't there much to play for? But there's a lot to play for because you got to further your career.
Yeah.
You're fighting to get
there's contracts.
Contracts. That's the exact word, contracts. But let's go look at the fixtures, Boats. The first one is Burnley, who got a walloping.
Yeah.
And the team who beat them got a walloping from Leicester.
Yeah, away from home. Arsenal, last game for Arsene Wenger at the Emirates. I think they'll beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth away from home have been terrible, Paul. Should be plenty of goals in there, but I like Burnley 11 at 10 in our bets.
Palace, Brom.
Well, this should be a good game. Two informed teams.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace have done great. Zaha, player of the month. And, West Brom unbeaten in 5.
Jeez,
got to fancy West Brom at home, but they've done the deed. I think they could finish 10th if they win this game.
Now, Huddersfield had categorically the toughest last 3 matches to come. Manchester City, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah.
They've picked up
2 points.
2 points, which I never thought they'd have. Now they can get a point of Arsenal.
I just think they've done what they have to do, Paul. I watched them last night for like 20 minutes at the stadium at Stamford Bridge. They were still celebrating. I think they'll be celebrating now. I can see Arsene Wenger's last game. He rested quite a few players last night. I watched the game a little bit till he got sent off the centre half. He wants to end in style. I think Arsenal, they've lost the last 7 games away from home.
Back Arsenal.
I would back Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah, have they won a game this
no,
calendar year?
Only team hasn't picked up a point. Yeah.
Okay, Liverpool 1-6.
Well, they need to draw Liverpool. Watching them against Chelsea, they look tired, Paul. Yeah, they've got some key injury. Can's a massive loss. Lallana's a massive loss. Yeah. So is Oxlade-Chamberlain. So he can't really rotate too many. He's only got 12 players. But I can't see Brighton. Liverpool have to lose and Chelsea have to beat Newcastle.
Not the worst side. Yeah,
not the worst.
They had a lock horns with Spurs and United. They came away with 4 points.
Well, they beat United 1-0. But Liverpool at Anfield, different ball game. Everything to play for to get in the Champions
Liverpool
League.
haven't been beaten there, have they?
No, unbeaten in 18 league games this season.
Yeah, Liverpool very hard, but 1-6.
Yeah,
with a side that have bigger fish to fry. But it's an important game. They can't afford to lose.
Can't afford to lose. Pressure.
Can't afford to lose. They go lose here.
Well,
Chelsea
they go 1-0 down early. Chelsea go 1-0 up. The game's on.
And then if they do get beaten, then they go get beaten in the final, which I hope they don't.
Yeah.
They don't make Champions League football.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a lot to pay for. Man United 1-4 against Watford.
Well, Watford away from home are terrible, Paul. United, after that we play tonight, obviously, but after the last game at Brighton, he'll be rattling a few cages there. That's guaranteed. But at Old Trafford, we don't get beat too often, other than West Brom. But we should beat Watford at home, Paul. Well, 1-4 wouldn't be in my bets. But
Newcastle, not the worst side. I watched them last night. They weren't bad. Chelsea have to win. They're 1-2 away from home.
Just watching Chelsea on Sunday against Liverpool, it's like Hazard and 10 others.
Yeah.
Either give him the ball and the rest just, I don't know, just there's something wrong in that club. I think Conte's gone. We've said it all year. Something's not right in that club, Paul.
Yeah,
Hazard's walking around. I can't have Giroud up front. I know you get the ball in, but there's something wrong. I can see Newcastle. I think a draw's a big player here. Rafa set it up tight. Newcastle at home, dangerous.
Southampton playing Man City.
I looked at it, Paul. Remember, Mark Hughes was at the start of the Man City empire.
Yeah.
He got fired when Mancini came in. So he's going to want to prove a point here. Man City going for the 100 points. Obviously, Man City. I can see a draw here, Paul. Southampton have played well the last few games. I know Man City, I think he's going to rotate his team as well. The Silva, De Bruyne's.
But he's bringing in. He's bringing in the best around.
Sure.
Swansea, Stoke City, 2 relegated sides.
Both gone. Who's got the motivation? It wouldn't surprise me if Stoke cause an upset here. They've got 1 or 2 better players that play Crouch and them. But this is a game I'd hate to pay to watch because it has no meaning. I know Swansea have to win and hope there's a 9-goal swing. I just don't see it. I can see a draw there, Paul.
Tottenham should beat Leicester, but Leicester played well yesterday.
Yeah, Leicester, some youngsters flying around.
I think Tottenham
Spurs just don't look right, Paul.
Yeah, they don't. They're tired. Harry
Middle
Kane's
of the park,
in quicksand.
no creativity.
Yeah.
I don't know what he sees in that Wanyama. I don't know what he sees in that
Sissoko.
Sissoko. No, Paul.
He's never scores. He's used to 30 million. Let him go. Give him away for 30 rand.
Everyone raves about Pochettino, Paul. The jury's still out on him for me.
Tactically, listen, he's got them there.
Yeah.
To his credit, he's got them Champions League foot, got them. They're not winning trophies, but it's better than the Harry Redknapp's scenario. Better than all those guys there. So I'm not going to bury
They've got some
him.
good players, Paul. There's not many Harry Kanes floating around.
Yeah, but we had top players. We've had some great players over the years, and where have we got? Nowhere. We haven't won for years. But I do believe that...
next year's a big year for you, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crucial.
Absolutely.
New stadium.
Yeah. That'll be a big plus, I hope.
Yeah.
West Ham, Everton.
Well, West Ham played tonight. Everton have only lost one in the last game. Everyone's having a go at Sam Allardyce, but they only lost to Man City at home.
Yeah.
So he's done well, but a draw, a big player there, Paul.
Yeah.
Last game of the season. But, West Ham, David Moyes used to coach Everton, so obviously trying to put one over Big Sam, but a draw player for me there.
Draw player for you. Okay. Let's go look at the PSL fixtures. Now, Ajax Cape Town play Chiefs. Ajax Cape Town have to
Got to win.
Chiefs, what do you think?
The Chiefs after, Chiefs, don't know what's going on at Chiefs, but Ajax at home, Cape Town, Paul, they've got a good record. They won 5, drawn one of the last 6. They've got to win.
Have to win.
But I just see Chiefs sneaking them on the break here, Paul. Yeah, young team Ajax. Can they handle the pressure? I don't think so. Chiefs in a draw for me.
Amazulu, Cape Town City.
Now, this will be a tight game, Paul. Amazulu top 8 hopes.
Yeah.
Benny's team, they're safe. They're guaranteed to finish top 8. I think Amazulu can cause an upset there.
Bloem Celtic against the champions.
Well, if Sundowns are unbeaten in 12, if they play their best team, you'd expect them to win. But Celtic and Bloemfontein, tough game.
Bloem
That's the game.
Only lost one of their last 9 at home.
Don't score many goals, Paul. But it's just if Sundowns come with all the Percy Towers and billiards, they should be too good. But they've got a Champions League game in 10 days' time. So you never know. Maybe Pizzo will rotate the squad, which gives Celtic a chance. But
Maritzburg is safe top 8.
Yeah,
but Golden Arrows are fighting to stay in it.
Well, that's it. I like Arrows in a draw here, Paul. Now remember, Maritzburg play in the Nedbank Cup final next Saturday.
Correct.
So if you're the manager of Fadlu Davids, anybody with a knock, he's going to keep aside. And if you're in the midfield or defence, you're not going to want to get injured for the final.
Yeah, you want to play in
the
final.
So Golden Arrows.
Do you think there'll be a lot of changes in the Maritzburg side?
I would imagine so. If you're the manager, what would you do? Your main players.
Keep them for the big one.
No doubt.
They're going to lose. Pirates, they finished up second, eh?
Well, yep. Great season, Paul. They hammered Wits the last home game. I think they should be too good. Free State Stars also. They play Maritzburg in that cup final. They've fallen off for a while, but Pirates 7 of 10, Paul. Bit short, but got a fancy Pirates. The
Platinum Stars, Bidvest?
No, I can't have Platinum. They're already gone. I think 11 of 10 Wits, Paul. Good bet.
Yeah.
They're also hanging in to try and get in the top 8, Gavin Hunt's team.
Of course, they're 10th.
Results here, they can sneak in.
Polokwane City, Chipper United?
Both teams just don't win enough, Paul. Polokwane, I think, need a point to stay up. I think this is destined. 21 of 10 the draw there, Paul.
And then Supersport United.
Yeah, I fancy Supersport. Yeah, they can't afford to. They're unbeaten in the last couple.
Can they mathematically make it?
Well, they could get relegated if everything goes against them, Paul. But I just don't see Ajax Cape Town beating Chiefs. There's so much pressure on Chiefs. Can you imagine they get beaten Cape Town? Yeah. There's one performance, but I like Supersport of the two teams there, Paul.
All right, let's go and look at your soccer sixes here. Here's the first one.
Yeah,
tell us your thinking.
2-1-6 the PSL when I've gone Chiefs in a draw at Ajax Cape Town. Because I don't know what Sundowns are going to do team-wise, I've gone the field with Bloemfontein, Celtic and Sundowns. Likewise, Maritzburg and Golden Arrows. I've looked for the lurker. I've gone Pirates win and draw at Free State Stars. I bank Wits to beat Platinum Stars and Supersport to beat Morocco at 2-1-6.
Okay, next soccer six.
This is the English one. This is a Sunday soccer six. I banked Burnley to beat Bournemouth. I've thrown the draw in with Crystal Palace against West Brom. I like Arsenal, Arsene Wenger's last game to beat Huddersfield. I've thrown the draw in. You never know what can happen with Liverpool. They only need a draw. And I've gone the field, Southampton, Man City, hoping they're on holiday mode, Man City, looking for the upset as well, and Swansea, Stoke City. Both teams I think to play for.
If Chelsea had won last night.
Yeah. Well, then Liverpool had to have won on Saturday.
And Spurs would sort of
then it would have been a lot more.
It would all been on the scrum.
Yep.
Okay, so that was critical for them.
Massive. Yeah, they walked off. You couldn't believe the Chelsea players, but it just doesn't look right, Paul.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. Soccer 10.
Yep, I've banked Burnley to beat Bournemouth. I've gone Crystal Palace win and draw at home against West Brom. Taken the chance, banked Arsenal to beat Huddersfield. I've thrown the draw in with Liverpool at home against Brighton. I've banked United to beat Watford. I've gone win and draw Chelsea at Newcastle United. I'm looking for, I could be completely off the boil here with Man City and Southampton. I've gone the field there, likewise Swansea and Stoke City. I think Spurs will beat Leicester, and I think West Ham win and draw against Everton, 288. Obviously, if you want to halve your perm, bank Man City and you third your perm. But I've looked for the upset. Last game of the season, Paul.
Yeah.
So I've looked for the upset there.
Okay, then let's look at
the soccer 13. I banked Burnley to beat Bournemouth. I've gone win and draw Crystal Palace against West Brom. I've banked Arsenal to beat Huddersfield. I've gone Liverpool to beat Brighton. I had to find another banker.
Yeah.
Man United to beat Watford. I've gone win and draw Chelsea at Newcastle. Likewise, I'm looking for the complete flyer. Southampton, Man City, I've gone the field. I've gone Swansea win and draw at home against Stoke City. I've gone Tottenham to beat Leicester. West Ham win and draw against Everton. Now, the last 3 are always Swedish games.
GIF Sundsvall.
The GIF Sundsvall win and draw against the biggest club in the world, Bromma Pochkana. I've gone win and draw there. I bank at Eskilstuna, who've won the last 4 and haven't conceded a goal, to beat Varberg Boao. And I've gone Brage, win and draw at home against Valkensburg, 288. Obviously, if you want to lessen your perm, Paul, look at the Man City game and banker them. But I've looked for the upset there, Paul.
Yeah, no, and rightly so. Okay, let's go and have a look at my favourite part.
Yep, the bets.
The bets. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I've gone.
Start me off with your.
Yeah, I've gone Burnley to beat Bournemouth. I've gone Arsenal to beat Huddersfield, and I've gone both teams to score. Crystal Palace, West Brom, Tottenham, Leicester. 2,300 to 200. Now the PSL, fortunately, there was betting out. I went Supersport to beat Baraka at home. I've gone Bidvest Wits to beat Platinum Stars away. And I've gone win and draw. Amazulu at home against Cape Town City. And Golden Arrows to at least avoid defeat against Maritzburg. 10 to 1 it worked out, Paul. So that's 2,000 to 200.
Okay.
Now the unders, I don't think there's going to be many goals.
Okay, I've got you.
I've gone under 3.5 goals, Liverpool, Brighton, and Man United, Watford. And I've gone under 2.5 goals, West Ham, Everton, and Newcastle, Chelsea. Just think last game of the season.
Okay.
10 to 1, 2,000 to 200.
Hard bet to catch.
Difficult. The overs, Paul, they've just halved. You can't believe the price on the overs now. The win and draw quad, I've gone Southampton. They were 15 to 10. I thought, you know what, let's take a flyer.
Who they playing?
They play Man City at home. That was what inflated the odds.
Okay.
I've gone AC Milan, who are away at Atalanta. I've gone Juventus, who need a point at Roma to win the league.
Where Roma in the league?
Roma third.
Yeah.
They need a point from 2 games to get Champions League. Nice team, but Juventus need a point to win the league. And Sampdoria or at home against Napoli, they're going well. Napoli can't win the league if Juventus wins. So I thought that was a good price there. 12 to 1, 2,400 to 200. Now, Spanish quartet. Now, Getafe play Atletico Madrid at home on Saturday. Atletico Madrid play in the Europa League on Wednesday. They're going to rest 7 or 8 players.
Yeah. So
we've taken a flyer there. Getafe at home are quite a decent team.
Oh, how does
Valencia or at home or away to Girona.
Okay.
Almost qualified for the Champions League, Valencia. So I've thrown them in to beat Pep Guardiola's brother's team, Girona. And over 2.5 goals, Eibar Las Palmas. And both teams to score in the Seville derby.
Las Palmas, do they stay up?
They went straight down.
They're gone, eh?
Kiki Etienne, they got rid of the manager. He went to Real Betis. They'll finish 5th.
Yeah.
And they play Seville, who beat Real Madrid last night. So that'll be a fiery derby. Both teams to score
definitely.
there. 2,200 to 200.
Cotter's King?
Cotter's King, 6 on extra. I've gone Burnley to beat Bournemouth. Arsenal to beat Huddersfield. Eibar to beat Las Palmas. Espanyol to beat Malaga. Supersport United to beat Baraka. And Bayer Leverkusen to beat Hanover. 20 to 1, 4,200.
Gee, that's very good. That's where the Tom is. So, Budge, it all starts when?
Well, Friday night for Stevie B, Fulham. But
Saturday,
PSL, 3 o'clock. Last game on Sunday, 4 o'clock in the Premiership.
A lot to look forward to. There we go. And great football again. The playoffs are always an interesting time. And Fulham won it last year and they got knocked out very quickly. And a team like Huddersfield came through on penalties. So, Budget, it looks all to play for.
Oh, pressure, Paul. Biggest game in the world is the playoff final.
There you go. So, until next time, make sure you're on side.